Or yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Hi everyone.
fantastic. Okay, thank you, Olga. And Anna, hello to you. We've certainly met before. So good morning. How is Omsk this morning? Anna, can you hear me? Switch the microphone on.
Oh,
Okay, that's much
I'm
better.
sorry.
We No,
Uh,
no problem. No problem. We can hear you with a microphone.
hello. I'm in Omsk. It's cold, but sunny a little. Uh,
Oh, it's a little bit sunny. Yes.
yes.
Okay. Nice to see you, Anna.
Nice to see
And Lilia, hello.
Good morning.
Now, where are you? I have to ask where you are because you're, of course, a digital nomad.
Yes. Today I'm still in
Today.
Vilnius, Lithuania, but maybe
Okay.
will be in Riga, Latvia. But I don't know. It's just 4 hours by bus, so
Okay. 4 hours to Riga.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. I think we've spoken. You were in Rostov on Don, and then you move around.
yeah.
What is it that you do as a digital nomad?
I'm a cookbook writer and I'm Instagram blogger.
You're
So
a
yes,
cookbook writer.
yeah. Yesterday I finished my third book about Christmas essentials, like
Goodness me,
best
perfect timing.
winter recipes for baking because I have my small school how to bake with alternative flours like almond and coconut and all this
Fantastic.
gluten-free thing. Yeah,
Yeah, fantastic. And in what language?
Russian.
In Russian. Dear, I can't benefit from it. I can't benefit from it. Okay, what an interesting job. So people can be learning about different recipes for cooking in Russia, traditional Russian cooking, but with alternative ingredients.
Yes, and I need to translate some recipes to English because I have a huge auditory in Instagram, and some of my followers are not a native Russian speakers, but they use a special button in Instagram like translate.
Okay.
And sometimes they confused by this automatically translator and ask me to help them.
Really?
This is one
And
of the reason why I'm here.
what's your Instagram handle then?
Uh, like nickname
Well, how do people find you on Instagram?
by hashtags. And
Okay.
my name is Elf Kitchen. I put it on the chat box.
Yes, please. Elf Kitchen.
Uh-huh.
That's fantastic.
I believe that you can add just a pinch of magic all in your everyday life, and your
Yes.
everyday life become better just with a small pinch of magic something. So I like to cook with adding some, I don't know, dried eatable flowers, truffle
Yes,
salt,
why
something
not?
like that. Really something small. Make your,
Yes.
I don't know, morning eggs great again. Let's say that.
And as it's Christmas, do you find enough elves to work for this while they're delivering Santa Claus's presents?
Yeah,
There's still
I have a
enough
couple.
elves to go round. Very good.
You know that in Iceland, for example, 60% of people believe in elves.
Oh yeah, in Iceland, you mean?
Iceland, yeah,
Iceland,
yeah,
yes. Iceland, sure. It is the home of the elf, I think.
one of them.
One of them, yes. Yes. There aren't many elves in Thailand where I live. So, so, and Nikolai, hello to you.
Hello Martin and
Are
everyone.
you getting homesick at all by moving to St. Petersburg? You get
I,
homesick
I,
by
I tell you one thing right now.
Pankrashika.
Right now
Uh-huh.
I am in Moscow.
You're in Moscow.
Yeah.
Okay, why not? Are you there for
Uh,
the weekend or?
I want to visit historical event. It's called Digital History Festival.
Okay.
What is
And
the
that's
weather in
why you're
Moscow?
there.
Once again?
That's why you're in Moscow. You've gone from St. Petersburg
Yeah.
to Moscow
Yeah.
for the weekend to go to the
Today evening I will go back to St. Petersburg.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. You've got a new hairstyle as well.
I just
Wash it.
Washed it. Oh, what
wash
a good
it.
idea. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. So, yeah, welcome everybody to the class. We're going to talk about food, interestingly enough. So here, first of all, in order to talk about food, we're going to look at the phonetics, the phonetics. The phonetics of English, the phonetics of any language, comes from phonos, of course, in the Greek, meaning sound, meaning sound. And the way that we pronounce words in our various languages is very important. So we're going to just look quickly at some of the pronunciations of two particular letters. So Olga, please, could you read the goals for today? Now, this is G and C. G and C. Okay.
Practice saying G and C. Practice talking about food.
Okay. And Anna, please, could you read this text?
Sure. What kind of food do people eat in your country? Are a lot of people vegetarian or vegan? Vegan? Vegan?
Vegan.
Vegan?
Vegan.
Vegan, okay. Do many people look for organic food?
Okay. So, this pronunciation, we're going to look at a sound for G. You know, G can be what we call a soft consonant, or it can be a hard consonant. And so we're going to look at the hard pronunciation of G, as in gate, gate. So Lilia, please, could you just say this word, gate?
Gate.
And then with exactly the same sound for the G, gate and gone. Gate and gone. Lilia?
Gate and gone.
Yes. Gate, gone.
Gate, gone.
And then 3 words. Gate, gone, goal. Gate, gone, goal.
Gate, gone, goal.
And gate, gone, goal, get.
Gate, gone, goal, get.
Yes. So gate, gone, goal, get. This is the hard G, the hard consonant G. So one more time, please, Lilia.
Gate, gone, goal, get.
And Nikolai, please, the same 4 words.
Gate, gun, goal, get.
Yes. And Olga, please.
Gate, gone, go, get.
Good. And Anna, please.
Gate, gun, go, get.
Very good. Very good. Now, here we're going to change from a hard consonant sound to a soft consonant sound for the same letter. This time, Nikolai, please, could you say this word? Giraffe. Giraffe.
Giraffe.
Giraffe. So rather than a hard g, we've got giraffe. Giraffe. So it's a soft consonant. Giraffe. General.
Giraffe. General.
giraffe, general, giant.
Giraffe, general, giant.
Giraffe, general, giant, gentleman.
Giraffe, general, giant, gentleman.
Good. So, Olga, please, could you read these 4 words?
Giraffe, general, giant, gentleman.
Very good. And Anna, please. Anna, hello?
Oh, I'm sorry, I switched off again. Giraffe, general, giant, gentleman.
Yes. And Lilia, please.
Giraffe, general, giant, gentleman.
Yes. It's interesting, isn't it? If we change the language, you know, this word here in German, they pronounce with the hard consonant. You know, they say giraffe, giraffe. They don't use the giraffe, the soft consonant. Giraffe and general. In the German languages, the G sound tends to make a hard consonant sound. So we just have to be aware of this. So Olga, please, could you just tell me these words, are they a soft G or are they a hard G? So, gold,
Gold, hard, G.
golf,
Gold, hard, G.
gem,
Soft, G.
Germany,
Soft, G.
game,
Hard, G.
and this word,
Gender,
gender, yes, male or female, gender.
soft, G.
It's a soft G, excellent. Now, the next phonetics we're going to look at is the C sound. Now, sometimes you will already be aware that C, it sounds like an S, doesn't it? This word, ceiling, the above me in my office is the ceiling, the ceiling. This is indoors, it's indoors. If you're inside a house or a building, you look up and you will see the ceiling. So it's an S, ceiling. So Anna, please, could you say this word?
Ceiling, ceiling.
And ceiling, celebrate.
Ceiling, celebrate.
Ceiling, celebrate, certain.
Ceiling, celebrate, certain.
Yes. And ceiling, celebrate, certain, ceremony.
Ceiling, celebrate, certain ceremony.
Good. So, Lilia, please, could you say these 4 words, please?
Ceiling, celebrate, certain ceremony.
Good. And Nikolai, please.
Ceiling, ceiling celebrates certain ceremony.
Yes. And Olga, please.
Ceiling, celebrate, certain ceremony.
Yes. Now, there's another sound that's creeping in here as well. And that is, I've spoken to so many people about it, so excuse me if I've spoken to you about it already. But in English pronunciation, in the phonetics of English, there is a special sound called schwa. Schwa. Now, schwa is a phonetic tool, really, for us pronouncing a combination of characters or maybe a vowel where it doesn't sound like the original vowel sound. Let me just go through these words here because it's indicative of schwa. Ceiling, perfectly correct. We've got an E and an I coming together, which makes the E sound. The I vowel is ing, ceiling. But here we've got two E's coming together, cell, e and e. The first E, cell, and then the second E is a schwa. It's the sound It doesn't sound very romantic or very clear, but it's just the sound that we pronounce, celebrate. So we've got this E sound has got a separate sound different to the first one, celebrate. Certain, the A and the I coming together of this word is also schwa, certain. We don't say certain in English, we say certain. And ceremony, the O doesn't sound like an O. Again, it's schwa, ceremony. So the schwa comes in as well. Is that clear? If you want to know about schwa, you can read it in Google. You can just look up schwa, and it's interesting to see how it came about and when we use it. So here we're going to look at a different phonetics. So Lilia, please. Cat. Now we've got a hard C. It's not like an S. This is like a K in the back of your throat. So cat.
Cat.
Cat, car.
Cat, car.
Cat, car, code.
Cat, car, code.
Cat, car, code, camera.
Cat, car, code, camera.
Very good. So here we've got the hard C. Cat, car, code, camera. Nikolai, please.
Cat, car, code, camera.
And Olga, please.
And cat, car, code, camera.
Good. Anna.
Cat, car, code, camera.
Cat, car, code, camera. Exactly. Sometimes we call it a kicking K. The K. So, soft C or hard C? Lilia, please.
City, soft. Cow, hard. Cell, soft. Cup, hard. Corner, hard. Center, soft.
Very good, very good. So, city, cow, cell, cup, corner, center. So, Nikolai, please. Nikolai, we've got some words that we need to use when we're talking about food. And so, could you read these words?
Intolerant, gluten,
Gluten. It's a hard G.
Gluten.
Gluten.
mix, separate, flour,
Flour.
flour.
It's two syllables. It's pronounced exactly the same way as this word, flower.
I know flour.
Like a rose. This is pronounced exactly the same way, but not spelt the same. And flour, it doesn't sound right with one syllable. So we say flower, the schwa is coming into place at the end of the word to make the second syllable. Flower, flower. And this word here, Nikolai,
Abstain,
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 and
lactose,
lactose,
vegetarian.
vegetarian. Good. Are you familiar, Nikolai, with all of these words?
What does mean intolerant in food context?
Now, you know, many people nowadays, I don't know what happened years ago when we didn't know about these things, but many people nowadays are some food intolerant. In other words, their bodies cannot tolerate eating certain kinds of food.
It's like lactose. Some people just use the way how to deal with this protein lactose, and his body
Yes.
just cannot do with this, and they have some red dots on the body after they drink just a simple milk and coffee.
Yes, a
So
rash. Sometimes it
they
can be
need to
quite
abstain
dramatic.
eat it in life.
Yes. And
Red dots?
You
sorry?
know, like on body, like you eat something and you have a reaction on your body.
A
Like
rash.
yeah.
A rash.
It's
It's
my
called a
it's my
rash.
option. I don't know why I have red
Yes.
dots lactose here.
So some
Yes,
people
no,
have
no.
problem with the lactose. It's very simple. Some people will have problem with the gluten, like with the when they use a normal flour for baking, they
Yes.
have problem.
So you know you end up if you eat something which is lactose, which is coming from mostly dairy products and things like that, and gluten comes from cereals, corn and wheat and things like that. So bread has got lots of you know if you are gluten intolerant, then it's really difficult and sometimes can be dangerous. You know, it can be life-threatening if you have an intolerance to certain foods. Like, for example, I have a friend, we live in Thailand. Uh, Seafood is fantastic in Thailand. You can eat shrimps and prawns. They're huge, big prawns, giant prawns. But he cannot eat them because if he eats a shrimp, he comes out in this red rash all over his neck here. It looks like very scarlet red rash. And if it's bad enough, it can cause a shock to the body, anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
So, uh, do you know anybody, Nikolai? Are you intolerant to any food?
I guess so, but I need to visit a doctor to check it.
Okay, yeah, they do test it, and they can test it. What they do, at least in England, if you want to find out if you are some kind of food intolerant,
Am I allergic with
yes,
anything?
and what they do is they put patches like a plaster on your skin with the various chemicals, the lactose or the gluten or whatever it is, and they leave it on for a few days, and when they peel it off, they can see underneath what the skin reaction is. They do it so you will know. And some of my friends, when they go to a restaurant, they have to ask, look, is there
Any
lactose or
soya or
gluten or
nuts?
yes, it's really difficult. And indeed in Thailand, some of the restaurants don't know what you're talking about. So you have to run the risk maybe of eating food. Sometimes you can say, well, I don't want any peanuts, you know, peanut oil and fish oil is used a lot in Thai cooking. So, so to use those oils, if you are intolerant to them, is a really dangerous thing to do. And some people have to be very careful. it doesn't totally answer your question, Nikolai, but do you understand the meaning of it?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, okay. So, let's go here. We're going to use these words in context. So could you please, Olga, could you read these sentences, please?
People who are intolerant to gluten can't eat wheat.
Wheat. It's a crop, a grain crop that they grow in the fields. And so wheat is used for making bread, for example, certain kinds of bread or cereals. So if you are intolerant to gluten, you can't eat cereals, you can't eat bread. And the second sentence, please.
Gluten is in pasta and bread.
Yes. And this?
Lactose.
Lactose.
Lactose is in cow's milk.
Cow's milk, yes. So any dairy product, a dairy product is a product that is made from the milk of cows or goats as well. But cows, you can drink the milk, you can make cheese, you make yogurt. There are many, many things that are dairy products. Butter, for example. And if you are lactose intolerant, you can't eat them. You cannot eat them. And again, the last one, please, Olga.
Vegetarians do not eat meat.
Yes. What do you eat, Olga? Is there anything you don't eat? Or do you eat everything?
I eat I eat fruit, meat, vegetables. Oh.
Okay, you eat everything. In that case, you are an omnivore. You eat everything. You are capable of eating everything. You are an omnivore. If you only eat meat and you don't eat vegetables, you are a carnivore. You are a carnivore because you eat. Oh, wait a minute.
That will be my
You
future.
eat meat. That's me, yes. If you're vegetarian, you don't eat meat at all. You might just eat vegetables. You might eat white meat like chicken or something. But so many people have either an intolerance or a dislike for certain foods. And indeed, some foods in the world, people do not eat for their religious reasons as well. It's not just an intolerance or you don't like something, but Hindus, for example, Hindus in India don't eat cow. They don't eat beef because in Indian culture, a cow is a sacred animal. It's a sacred. I've driven in India, and if a cow is lying in the middle of the road, you're not allowed to move it. You can't try and pit the horn of your car and move it out the way. You just have to allow the cow time. As long as it's not asleep, you can go through maybe in 5 minutes. But it's a sacred animal, so they do not eat beef. And Anna, please.
Pregnant women should abstain.
Abstain.
Sure.
Abstain.
Oh no.
Two
Okay.
syllables. Stop.
Okay.
To stop. To abstain from something you don't eat. You
Okay.
abstain. I abstain from eating, from eating spinach.
Or eating
I,
nothing.
I
Okay.
hate it. I hate
I
spinach.
hate it too. I hate it too.
You
I,
just
I
don't
know
know
it's
a
good.
nice
It's
way to cook it.
good.
No,
Well, yes, maybe it
it
is.
smells so bad.
It does, and the texture. It sells. It's like you're tasting slimy something. I've never liked it since I was a child, and it's used a lot in Thai cooking. It's very popular. I just don't eat it, or if it's served to me in a restaurant, I just put it to one side, or I give it to one of my friends who enjoys it. So, um, and then so, and
Ah,
Anna,
okay.
the next one, please.
Um, Flour is used to make bread.
Yes,
To make an
Flour.
omelette.
to make an omelette. Yes,
Flour or flour? Oh,
flour,
flour. It's okay. I'm sorry.
flour. No,
Flour is
flour. Yes,
used to make bread.
like the bloom, like the roses,
Yes,
but
flour is another word. Oh, okay. I see.
flour.
Flour is used to make bread. To make an omelette, we must separate the eggs. When
The
making a
eggs.
cake,
Separate the eggs. What
eggs,
does that mean?
eggs. We should mix eggs for omelette to make.
No, we separate. To
Oh
separate
no,
the eggs.
we should, for example, white and
The yellow.
uh,
Yes.
yellow. Yeah, yes, okay.
You separate the yolk from the albumin. You know, the yolk is the yellow part, and sometimes people take the yolk of the egg. Let me just put that here because it's got a letter in it with an L. It is unvoiced. We say yolk,
Yolk.
the yolk. Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then the
Uh,
rest, this gluey stuff around the egg is called the albumin, the yolk and the albumin. And we call it the white of the egg and the yellow. And we sometimes at school we used to play a trick on people, say, which is correct English, the grammar. The yolk of an egg is white, or the yolk of an egg are white. What do you think, Anna? Which is
uh,
correct?
is white.
No, it's yellow.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, Anna. This is a trick that people play when you're at school, you know, and you don't think about the yolk of an egg is white or
Ah,
are white. You say, well, it's singular, so I'm going to say is, and it's not. It's yellow. Yeah.
okay.
You can play it on your friends. I don't know whether it would work in um, in Russian language or not, but
Okay, I will.
you can translate it as an exercise. So, and then when making a cake,
When making a cake, we mix all the ingredients in a bowl.
in a bowl, yes, in a bowl, good. And so if we look at these phrases on here, Lilia, please. So we've got a phrase which can start here. Most people in Britain, what do you think if you look at the ending of this sentence from these phrases that are available? Most people in Britain,
Eat cereal or toast for breakfast.
they do. What do you eat for breakfast, Lilia?
I don't eat breakfast.
You don't eat breakfast.
Yeah, now I'm trying a new way to be more healthy and productive is intermittent fasting. So
Okay.
I eat around 8 hours per day.
What about it?
Like
You
start.
eat around 8 hours a day.
You eat twice a day, yes?
Yes, I eat my
Okay.
lunch and dinner. It's easy to
But
me.
no breakfast.
It depends on people. Some people like to eat breakfast and lunch, and after that just cut everything.
Yes.
For me, it's easy. Don't eat in the morning. I'm
Easy not to eat in the morning.
not to eat.
Yes.
Yes.
It's funny because I eat breakfast and I eat lunch, but I don't eat dinner. I have something like soup in the evening because my doctor told me, if you have something very plentiful for dinner at night, then not long afterwards you're going to sleep, so your body isn't burning the calories from the meal. So just have something simple, and I'm trying now to eat a clear soup, vegetable soup in the evening.
The
It's
same
interesting.
stuff, the same stuff about intermediate fasting when you just stop eating food in a long period like 16 hours per day, that your body in this period don't use energy for doing something with food. They can have as much energy as they need to repair your body when you sleep, not for,
Really?
yes, and this is cooler, you're feeling better.
Yes, okay. I mean, I tell
So
you,
you,
I've
you
got,
don't need, you don't need to cut calories. You can eat the
okay,
same amount of
okay.
food just in 8 hours.
A
Yeah,
limited time, yes. I mean, I'm familiar with ketosis, for example, where the burning of fats in the body and things like that. Uh,
I'm
th-
I'm a keto book author. Yeah, writer.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
I,
heard,
Uh,
I
I I-
heard
I'm
that
on I'm on a keto now. Yeah, about around
uh,
more than 2 years, I think.
wow, goodness me. I'm definitely going to look at your
Welcome.
Instagram page, Lilia. Very interesting. I've done. I could write a book on the diets I've done. It's I've done it all the time. And so people in Spain, Nikolai, what do you think people in Spain do?
Hmm, I don't know. Maybe people in Spain often eat dinner quite late.
They do. They do. And the reason is that Spain is what we call a Mediterranean country. And in Mediterranean countries, it's fairly warm. It's fairly warm in Central Europe there around the Mediterranean. And in Spain, they have a habit of, you know, they have breakfast, they have lunch around the middle of the day at lunchtime, and then after lunch, they have what's called a siesta, because it gets hot in during the day in Spain, and they go for a sleep in the afternoon. So shops close in Spain in the afternoon, and they have a siesta, and then they open up later on at night, about 6 or 7 o'clock, and then they stay open till midnight. So it's a totally different way for just eating and working. They don't like working in the hot sun.
Some restaurants really open in 6, but problem is that they start serve dinner only from 8 or 9. So before 8
Yes.
or 9 you can find only something small and cold or maybe drinks.
Yes, yes, yes. I don't go to Spain often. It's not a country I enjoy, but yeah, I've been there many times on holiday. It's a popular holiday resort for English people, particularly. It's about the nearest country where you can guarantee the weather being warm. So, and uh, So, Olga, do you know anybody in Poland? Most people in Poland eat what?
Mhm.
I
Um,
can't generalize, of course. It does say most people, not everybody in Poland.
Maybe most people in Poland eat two breakfasts.
They do. They have two breakfasts. When I started working in Germany, in Berlin, um, I was introduced to the German way of life in the company I worked for. And in Germany, they have Erste und Zweite Frühstück. And the first breakfast is quite light. The second breakfast is maybe a little bit later in the day, about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And they have beer. Well, they had beer. I'm sure they don't now in companies. But we used to drink beer in the morning for breakfast. Dear me, I don't know how I survived.
The same
So
thing in Spain.
in Spain as well, yes. And Lilia, what about a lot of people in India?
Vegetarian.
They are, because of the thing I mentioned before. You know, they don't like to eat meat. Some Indians don't eat pork. Some Indians don't eat beef. So they tend, and it depends on what part of India you're in. The further south you go, they tend to use more fruit and fish and things like that. So if you're down near the tip of India, you get a totally different food from Nepal and those areas in the north. Okay. And so in Italy, people often enjoy what? A what?
I'm sorry, can I ask you
Yes, please.
about a or a?
Yes.
How we
How do you
pronounce
pronounce
this?
it?
Yes.
That's a really good question. Because it depends actually very much on the word that follows it. You'll be aware, of course, that a and an are indefinite articles, and that a is always followed by a noun that begins with a consonant. But um, I have to try and analyze what I say in English. I enjoy a breakfast. I would pronounce I enjoy a breakfast in the morning. I often go to a cinema in the evening. It's strange. It can be dialect. It can be your where you come from in England. A for people in the south is very long. It's a long vowel. But I'm aware that I do say a cinema, a breakfast, a dinner. No, we don't use a in front of that a dinner. We just enjoy dinner without the article. Um, I saw a cow. I saw an elephant. It's a good question, actually. I think it's to do with dialect only. There isn't a right or wrong way. You get a sound, you get a feeling for what it should be by the sound it makes. I'm sorry not to be more helpful, but A
Oh, it's
is
okay.
one,
It's okay. Thank you.
you know,
I see.
I think you just have to try. And the more you speak, the more familiar you will be of how to pronounce it with the word that follows.
I think it's maybe depends of your um uh, oh my God, I forgot the word
Yeah,
again.
well, your
Or
dialect,
of your of how it's of your speed,
yes,
how
it
it's.
is. It is. It's to do with where you come from. You know, the United Kingdom, particularly, is a country of very small size, 250,000 square kilometers. That's all. We're half the size of Thailand. And yet, if I travel 100 kilometers north of London, people will pronounce A differently from me. And as I go further north, it gets shorter and
Oh no,
shorter.
no,
Yeah,
no. I mean no speed. Uh,
the speed.
oh, temper of
Yes,
your.
the speed.
No, yeah,
That if you're talking quickly or slowly.
tempo of your conversation. It
Yes, the
depends
tempo.
of it.
Yes, it's
Mm-hmm.
tempo is the speed. Tempo is Latin for speed.
Uh, mhm.
Okay,
Okay, thank
so
you.
in Italy, people often enjoy what? Pizza. No,
In Italy, people often enjoy a long lunch at the weekend.
they do. They have extraordinarily long lunches and dinners, and the same in France. My sister has a summer house in France, and whenever we go there as a family, and we sit round a huge table outside her house in France, and the lunch can go on for 2 or 3 hours. Lots of wine, lots of conversation, lots of beautiful fresh food. It's a fantastic idea. Yes. And yeah, I think we'll finish that there. So, um, Lilia, please. Cooking instructions. Here are some questions finally right up your street. So, so uh, far too simple actually for your knowledge of English, Lilia. But
Yeah.
here, the, an ingredient for a recipe, ingredients and the process. So, what is A? Can you pick a phrase for A?
A is number 3. Use the scales to weigh 200 grams of sugar.
Yes. And B, very important. The cooks here, very important.
B. Put the mixture into the oven at 200 degrees Celsius.
Hmm. C.
C is separate 2 eggs and mix with the sugar.
Mm.
And D is melt 200 grams of butter and add to the eggs and sugars mixture.
Yeah, what are they making?
Cake?
I think it looks like a cake. It's got lots of sugar in it for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, so it looks like a cake, certainly. Okay. So, fill in the gaps. Nikolai, please. Here is a text, and we're going to fill in the gaps using words that we've learnt already in the class. So could you just read the sentences to the end of this sentence, please?
Alex is going to Italy on holiday this summer and he's really excited because he loves Italian food. But he is a little nervous too. He doesn't eat meat or fish because he's intolerant.
No,
No?
because he is
He is a vegetarian,
he's a vegetarian, yes. But,
but he does eat eggs.
or it could be, yes, it is. It's a vegetarian, but he does eat eggs.
It's like
Okay,
ovo.
yes.
Ovo.
And he is also,
Me?
yes, please.
He is also
Something
lactose intolerant, so
exactly.
he can drink cow's milk.
Yes, he
He mm, I don't know.
stops. He abstains from drinking alcohol.
He
So he doesn't drink alcohol.
He
He
abs-
abstains. If you abstain from something, you stop doing it.
He abstains from drinking alcohol because it makes him feel ill, so he won't drink any Italian wine.
Oh dear.
He has a preference for
Now this word hasn't come up, but you know, when nowadays when crops are being grown, when food is being grown, the farmers used lots of chemicals to destroy various problems with the grain and so on. And so we're becoming more and more interested in what we call organic food. And that is food that is grown organically, doesn't use chemicals in order to help to grow the product or to keep insects off it. The farmer doesn't spray the crops with chemicals, so it is organic.
or natural.
Well, yes, it's natural. Organic is natural products, yes. Because,
He has preference for organic
No,
products
yes, because,
because he doesn't like eating food produced with chemicals.
yes,
Um,
luckily,
Luckily, he isn't intolerant to. Mm, I forgot this word.
gluten.
Gluten.
Gluten, yes.
It's,
So he can eat pizza
can
and
eat pizza.
pasta. Fantastic if you're in Italy. What is the point of going to Italy if you can't drink Chianti and you can't eat pasta or pizza? Don't go to Italy, I would say. Go somewhere else. So, what sort of food do you associate, Olga? Um, are you well traveled? You know, have you enjoyed going to other countries yet, or not yet?
I was only Russian.
In Russia, okay, that's a good place to start. The biggest country of the world. You can experience traveling abroad by going to different parts of Russia, can't you? Have you have you uh, have you ever been? Have you traveled across Russia? I know that you're from Belarus, but you speak Russian as a language, do you?
Mhm. Yes.
And and have you traveled very far in Russia? Have you been to Vladivostok, for example? Not yet. It's a long way, isn't it?
I was in Petersburg.
Yes.
Um,
What a lovely place. Yeah. Near
uh,
near
I
Scandinavia, of course.
um, I went half. mm, I went 12 time
12 times.
12 times.
You've been to St. Petersburg 12 times.
Yes,
Wow.
a bus
Oh, 12
by
hours.
bus. Hmm.
12 hours it took from Belarus to St. Petersburg by bus.
Yes.
So if you're in Minsk and you want to travel to St. Petersburg, it takes 12 hours to get there by bus.
Yes.
Wow, that's a long journey. That's a long journey. Okay. Now, if you think about other countries in the world, what sort of food do you think at the moment, even though you haven't traveled to them, what do you think American food?
Um,
What do they eat?
um, they eat fast food.
Fast food, yes. They tend to eat a lot of fast food. There's a lot of very big people in America, and they do everything for convenience. I'm sure there are some good restaurants in America, and I've been to some steak restaurants there that are just outrageously good. They love steak, but you're never going to find, I don't think, or with difficulty anyway, a really good restaurant. I wouldn't go to America to eat food. What about this country here? What country is this, Olga?
Mm,
Any idea? It's actually
mm,
missing a little emblem in the middle here. It's Spanish. It's Spanish. So what food would you associate with Spain? Anything?
mm, maybe mm, tropic fruit.
Paella.
Yes, it could be yes, parts of Spain have got tropical fruits, certainly. They eat lots and lots of seafood there. Paella is like a fish stew with lots of shrimps and prawns and stuff like that. And they also have some tapas. Tapas is a fantastic institution in Spain. If you go for a drink into a bar, they have lots of little snacks on the bar and you can help yourself. This is tapas. Delicious. It make them generally salty, so they make you drink more beer. Your body craves more liquid, so you eat these tapas and you drink more, which is what the restaurant wants. What do you think Anna, what do you think of this country?
Japan.
The food? Yes. Do you enjoy Japanese food?
Yes, but in Omsk.
Why not? Why not? You know, you can buy sushi anywhere in the world now. So there's lots of sushi
As I
restaurants.
can, as I can.
And I believe it's very healthy. I just don't enjoy it. It's cold and it's raw fish and things. I don't enjoy it. I appreciate that some people do. So yes, Japanese food. And what about here then, Anna? What would you eat here? What do you associate with the food in, where is it?
Maybe something baking.
What, like a
Mm,
cake or something?
yes.
Okay, okay.
Croissant?
Croissant.
Croissant, yes. Interestingly
I'm
enough,
looking for pronunciation.
yes,
This
okay.
word.
It is of course a French word, croissant. However, I've got to disillusion you because croissant actually didn't come from France. France took the recipe from Austria. It's originally from Austria, and then it was taken on by the French, and it's now totally associated with France. Poor Austria has missed out on this. And what have you eaten, Lilia, in France?
Um, Several things. For example, it's duck liver, like
Yes,
foie gras.
duck
It's
liver,
famous.
foie gras.
Yes, I like the way to eat. Oh,
Escargot,
yeah, escargot, of course,
yeah,
with the
nails.
garlic butters. Yeah,
Oh, fantastic. Yes,
and actually, you need to drink champagne.
you do. Well, you need to drink champagne if you're eating a sandwich, even.
Yes. Why not?
Why not? Pourquoi
Um,
pas?
yeah. I
Yes,
tried
so,
croissant one time in Paris because
yes,
if you're in Paris, you need to do some stuff like eat baguette, look in the Eiffel
yes,
Tower, and blah
yes,
blah blah. Croissant. Maybe
yes.
they add more butter than in Vilnius in croissant, but it's the same pastry.
The same pastry. It's like a choux pastry. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. I love eating in different countries. It's a superb pastime for me. Now this is a bit tense here. What recipe would you follow to make this food? So I'm not sure quite where we're going with this, but you could see on the left-hand side here, Nikolai, do you cook?
No, I don't.
No. Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. So if you could put these ingredients together, what can you see in the picture? What's this?
It's a butter.
It's butter, not a butter. Butter is uncountable.
Mm.
So therefore, we can't use the indefinite article. It's just butter.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's this?
It's milk.
And what are these?
The egg.
Eggs, yes. And what's
Eggs.
this?
Poison.
Something white, maybe sugar, maybe salt.
Or maybe flour.
Maybe.
Maybe flour, yes. What do you think people could cook with these ingredients? It's an issue, yes. A cake, I think. A cake, maybe. It could be sugar, could be flour, could be cake, yes. Could
With
be
this
just
amount
one-
of flour, it's pancakes or crepes for breakfast.
Oh,
Not really
there's
cake.
another French delicious food, crepe.
And
Crepes
it's
and
very
crepes.
popular in Russia.
Is it? Wow.
Amazing. They have we have a special week before this religious period of 40 days without any animal food before the
Okay.
East, and we
Easter time or Lent?
Easter.
Easter.
You know,
is
this.
about March or April time.
Yeah. It's depend of day
pancake.
of. No, we have a special week when we need to eat crepes every day, and every day is marked by special traditions. Like in Monday, we need to eat pancakes with family. In the Tuesday, we need to eat pancakes with a different part of our family, and everything.
Oh,
It's like a big week of holidays,
that
and eat
sounds
a lot
great.
of butter and crepes. Yeah,
We
we
in
call it
Britain,
maslenitsa.
you call it
Maslenitsa.
Maslinitsa.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay. In Britain we have something called Shrove Tuesday. It's a special Tuesday around Easter time, and it's Pancake Day. Always as a family in Britain, I remember my sister and I with our mother, and she would show us how to make pancakes, and we would cook the pancakes on the fire, not on an oven. We would use a hard piece of iron, which was specially coated, and cook pancakes on them. Fantastic. I
Eh,
remember that very well from my childhood. What do you think is being prepared here, Olga? Olga, can you hear me?
Mm,
What can you see here? What's this? Do you know what this is?
uh, uh,
In English, it's called beetroot.
um,
Beetroot, it's like a red
beetroot.
turnip, a vegetable that is cooked. Um,
If you see beet,
borscht.
it means borscht.
Yes, it's
Yes,
borscht.
yes.
So, and I remember borscht from a restaurant in London where I used to go for borscht. The restaurant was called Borscht and Tears, the most unusual name for a restaurant. Borscht and Tears, meaning you cry. I don't know why. So, and then what do you know what these are here, Olga? What are these?
Mm,
Another vegetable, small.
Brussels. Uh,
Yes, Brussels sprouts.
yes.
Brussels sprouts, very popular at Christmas in England. Everybody hates Brussels sprouts, but they eat them at Christmas for some unknown reason.
It's
And
tasty.
it's what?
It's tasty.
It's very tasty. Okay, what's this?
Mm, I don't know.
Garlic.
Garlic. Mm-hmm.
Garlic, yes. It's vegetarian, isn't it? You've got green peppers here, capsicum, and carrots and different things. So maybe they're making a salad, something like that. We've come to the end of the presentation, really. Um, so, do you have any questions, Olga?
No.
Okay, Anna, any questions?
No, no questions.
Lilia, any questions?
Absolutely. No, no. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely not. And then Nikolai.
All clear.
Oh, all
Check your
clear.
health.
Good, yes. And I hope you have a good trip back to St. Petersburg tonight.
Thank you.
So have a safe journey. Okay, thank you so much. Das Vidania.
Thank you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
And you. I'll be online, Lilia.